Wow. Now the UN is supposed to be the most anti-Semitic organization on the planet, even compared to all the, Nazi organizations and neo-Nazi organizations and stuff that exist. Uh, it is the UN that is supposed to be the most anti-Semitic. And this is hilarious. I knew that people would eventually start claiming that the UN is anti-Semitic, and it's only to try to discredit the UN and any nation that tries to criticize the Israeli government and their genocide of the Palestinian people.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, panel, for being with us today. Thank you for both our chairmen of our subcommittees for holding this important hearing. I'm grateful to you, and what a disgrace UNRWA has become.
The true disgrace here is the Israeli government and any people trying to defend the Israeli government and their genocide of the Palestinian people. I mean, the world can see what is actually going on, and the Israeli government is not acting in self-defense.
You know, I was thinking about the whole world that the UN attempts to provide care and service to. You know, think about it. It's a massive task. And yet UNRWA has a budget of about almost $1 billion, employs 30,000 people, 13,000 of which I think are in Gaza, or were. And then the Commission on Refugees, taking care of the whole rest of the world, has a budget of $10 billion and just 18,000 employees. Let that sink in. Mr. Goldberg, you know, what's wrong with this picture? Could the UN Commissioner on Refugees handle this work and just abandon, since all the countries are disgusted with that $806 million or close to $1 billion with UNRWA, why didn't this just get
Okay, why are people upset with UNRWA getting funding?
Transferred to the UN Commission on Refugees? Let's pick a handful out of the 13,000 that are effective. What do you think?
That has been the obvious solution for decades, but for the United Nations' inherent systemic structural bias against Israel, support for UNRWA's mission of trying to instigate incitement against Israel. That is the only reason it hasn't happened.
So you're charging
So supposedly UNRWA exists to instigate violence against the Israeli government? That's a laugh.
that the UN itself is the most anti-Semitic organization on the planet. Is that what you're saying?
100% correct.
Yeah.
Documented by UN Watch and others. But I would say, Ms. Rudman said something.
Documented by UN Watch and others that the UN is the most anti-Semitic organization on the planet. A single member nation of the UN is anti-Semitic?
Something before, and it's very, very much a flag. Don't go to ask UN High Commissioner of Refugees, is it okay? Would you like to do this? The UN Secretary General is already circling the wagons to defend UNRWA. If you ask the UN, what do you think? The UN, we know what they think. They hate Israel. We tell them what to do. Our taxpayer dollars lead the way, not the other way around.
Thank you.
Okay, use our taxpayer dollars that is given to Israel to lead the way so that they will stop committing a genocide against the Palestinian people. That's not something that the U.S. wants. They want to watch the Israeli government commit a genocide against the Palestinian people.
And I thank you for that. I want to shift to Mr. Schiff. Thank you for testifying.
Thank you, sir.
I've spent a lot of time looking at curriculum, education curriculum, most of the time in Egypt. I'll say that's an area that I've spent